G'day guys, Carlo from Go Travel. In the garage with the patrol, yet again. Today, I'm doing a little project in the back. Now, the biggest downfall to my battery system in my fridge is it bounces around and it smashes the crap out of everything. So, I got myself a false floor. Not just any false floor, a modular false floor. Dash Offroad, they make these. Nice thick plywood, a couple of hatches to get in. Why do you need a false floor? Well, basically, you've got this big ass hatch in the back, which is plastic. So one, it's not really strong, can't hold a lot of weight, and you'll never secure anything to it. The other thing is, it actually just sits in there. So the idea I've got is I want to be able to secure my fridge and battery pack, whatever I'm carrying, whatever I'm taking camping with me at the time, and know that it's going to be safe and not move. For me to be able to do that, I decided I need a false floor to give me the options to be able to drill things into it. There's a couple of different companies that make false floors. In my opinion, the Dash one is the best one. And that's just solely because it's 3 floors in one. 4 floors, depending on how you consider it. I'm actually only going to use the back piece. That's all I'm going to use to start with. But I've got the option, should I want to take the single seat out, you can run a small L, or you can run a big L, or you can run it as one piece, like that. It should use all the factory mounting points, so it should be nice and easy to get in. A couple of bolts that hold this back cover on, we'll pull them out. We'll get that out of the way. 2 bolts either side for these, so we'll pull them little wings out. And then we'll have a look at what we're actually looking at. Then once we work out how to mount the back piece, we'll put the tracking on it, and then that'll be right to secure things to. These 2 bolts, and then they just clip into place. So we'll pull them out. With these little hooks, these little factory tie down points, if you just get a screwdriver or a spike, whatever, poke them up out of the way, you'll see there's a little 10mm bolt under it. You get that 10mm bolt out, and then all this section of the floor should pull off. These panels, a little bit of Velcro on the back of the seat, pull that off, and then literally, just pull them up. Just pop them up and they pop straight out. That's pretty much it. So if you wanted to install any of the other pieces of floor, these couple of bolts that hold the seat in place, you just remove them and then pull the back seats out. But for me, I want to leave the seats in place. The only issue I'm going to have is I want to cover this mechanism. If these are cheap enough to replace, I'm going to cut them up and try and rejig them. If they are expensive, however, I will make something instead that's cheaper. So I've already got on a Nissan and find out what they cost to replace. And once I know that, then I'll know whether I can cut them up or not. Now, I don't know if this intentionally sits like this, but you see that bit of raised metal there? That's sort of in the way of the floor. So what I'm going to do, I'll just mark the base of this and then I'll cut under the floor so it fits. Cut a little wedge out of both corners, and then that just gets to sit over that plate. Actually, I reckon we could just do that with a bolt. We might be able to just bolt that in. Even there and there. There and there. Might have something lying around that I might be able to use to make this work. So that'll be the idea anyway. Something like that. So, some aircraft tracking actually bolted to the floor, which will give me the option to mount the fridge, etc. And that should be a good thing. Alright, so I just got some longer bolts, use these existing brackets underneath, we drilled some holes, that'll work. I cut that in half, put a couple of wood screws in it, and then that flap sits the same way it would have before. But if you look at that, grab the seat, and it can flex, stays up, works as it should. Then when you fold it up, still nice and clean. It should work nice. So get this other side cut and cleaned up. Just a heap of little wood screws on the back. It's got my 2 little flappy things right. We'll flip her over and get them out. This, in my opinion, is what makes the dash floor the best. It's just versatile. Like, this floor can be whatever you want it to be. The possibilities are just your imagination. So you end up with this perfectly carpeted floor. And then from there, you just decide how you want to mount it, what you want to do with it. But that'll work perfect for us. That's 3rd row up, with them flaps modified. It's perfect. The boot mat that I have, I'll just cut that and then throw it on top of that. Get this screwed in, and then we're done. People say with these false floors, you need to relocate the factory jack. I reckon I can make this work. You got that little toolkit in the back, and in that toolkit there's a screwdriver. With that screwdriver, all I'm doing is using it to manipulate the jack. You see it? Got it in, secure. And then that is secure enough that I know that my fridge won't go anywhere. You could definitely put another bolt, put a few more bolts through there, through the center, but I think that'll be all right. This will be my goal. I need to rearrange my toolkit so I can get it to fit under there. and my air kit, which does fit under this side. So I can get that in there, I'll be very happy. Now I had the floor in for a couple of weeks. Aircraft tracking, secure as. So this aircraft tracking, got it from Bunnings. It was about 20 bucks for two lengths, two 300mm lengths. Good stuff, good enough to tie down to the floor. Obviously the fuel is nice and secure. My 12-volt battery pack, couple of straps either side to keep it secure. The fridge, the way I put this tracking on was intentionally for the fridge. This piece back here sits just a little bit offset. That's why it holds the fridge in place. Now with that big 60-litre fridge, I can still actually put that single seat up. That was the whole reason beside offsetting it all. So this single seat, still usable with the big fridge in the back. But as you can see, that's the fridge. It doesn't move. It just sits exactly where it's supposed to. Then obviously I know it's not going to smash the glass. And then the best part, I offset it. And the reason I did that is for my solar panels. Well, a few reasons actually. Solar panels fit down the side nicely. Can open it up. Look, easy enough to reach in. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have gone a 60-litre fridge. 60-litre fridge is great. It's huge, it's big, but that's also the downside. It's huge and it's big. But we'll run it for the time being. We'll see how we go, and then we'll make a decision whether we change what we're doing with it. So then for versatility, it's that easy. So the fridge is no different. Couple little cam buckles, loosen the tension on them, then literally just unclips. And then within seconds, that's simple. Well, so with a dash floor, you've got all the options in the world. You can do whatever you want with it. For me, this tracking setup, enough room for the solar panels, still gives you all this area here to use tie downs. Easily clip in and out and removable. My little boot liner. Now I've thought about cutting that boot liner, I probably should have just folded it under, because then I could have put it over the back piece if I needed it. But anyway, you live and learn. If you're going to do this, don't cut the boot liner. I reckon you can make it work. Well, there's a slight difference in the colour between like the factory black carpet and like the marine black. It's not too bad. The fact that I got them to work and still maintain a semi-decent floor and retain all my seats, I'm happy with that. And of course, should later on I decide I want to change this configuration, I've got the other pieces of false floor. So I can always pull that seat out, pull both them seats out, put the flooring in there, make it work. That's, like I say, that's what I love about this floor, is it's just options. I do want to show that too. Sits nice and flush, cut perfectly. Really, it is a good product. Nice and sturdy, nice and solid. Even with the fridge and everything strapped in, torqued into it, it doesn't feel like it's going to, it doesn't feel like it's going to break. But anyway, that's my personal opinion on the false floor. Love it, hate it, let me know. Is the modular floor the go? Or do you think the old traditional one-piece floor is the way to go? Feel free to comment below. Love to hear your thoughts and opinions. As always, if you like what you see, feel free to subscribe. And until next time, guys, go travel.